Think about the past few weeks and the last 10 months. How have you lived since January when we gained a new opportunity? Are you making the most of it? Are you keeping your promises? Have you taken action to reach your goals? Or have there been days where laziness, fatigue, or lack of motivation won? It's easy to fall into the trap of procrastination, delaying things for tomorrow, and believing we have all the time in the world. But if we keep behaving the same way, we can't expect different results in our lives. Either you start changing now or you'll always be frustrated and unsuccessful. If you're still not living as you planned, it's time to change and behave differently. This video is a challenge for the next 30 days. I will present you with 7 challenges from Stoic philosophy, and I'll ask you to choose one to practice over the next few days. No matter what situation you're in, whether it's striving for success, facing emotional challenges, or something else, there's always room for growth. All you need is the willingness and courage to start. Instead of giving in to laziness or lack of motivation, imagine what it would be like to take a determined step towards your dreams every day. Think about how your life could transform by adopting new habits, even small but consistent ones. This is an invitation to take control over the next 30 days and channel your energy into real change in your life, and only you can choose to do it. Let's start with the first challenge. Complain about nothing in your life. This challenge can truly transform your life. Imagine deciding to go through the next few days without uttering a single complaint, negative comment, or gossip. When you become more aware of your words and strive to change them, your mindset will become permanent, and you'll start to rewrite your story. Think about how many times you complain throughout the day. Perhaps it's about the traffic that makes you late every morning, the coworker who talks too much and disrupts your focus, the rising prices in the store that drain your wallet, or even the weather that ruins your plans. These may seem like small things, but they accumulate and become a heavy burden on your mood and mental state. Make a conscious effort to change this. Decide to refrain from giving in to the urge to complain or engage in negative thoughts over the next 30 days. Of course, it will be difficult, but think of the benefits. Complaining is like watering the seeds of things we don't want in our lives. Focusing on what's wrong is like being stuck in a swamp. The more we focus on problems, the more we sink and get pulled down. Empowering these issues only allows them to grow and multiply. Have you noticed how starting to complain about one small thing can quickly turn into complaining about everything? This happens because what we focus on tends to expand. Our thoughts and words shape our reality. As Marcus Aurelius said in his Meditations, our life is what our thoughts make it. That's why it's crucial to pay attention to our words, as they reveal our deepest thoughts. Sometimes we don't realize how destructive our thoughts are until our words express them. Controlling our mind is vital. Challenge yourself to do this practically through conscious monitoring. The idea is simple. Choose a physical object like a ring or bracelet. Every time you find yourself about to complain, criticize, or gossip, switch the object's position. This small physical action might be the trigger you need to create new awareness about your words and thoughts. Over the next 30 days, you'll notice something incredible. When we stop complaining, we begin to see the good things around us, the small joys we previously overlooked. You'll realize you have more control over your happiness than you imagined. On this first day of the challenge, start paying attention to how often you're inclined to complain. Recognize how automatic these responses are. But as you commit to this challenge, you'll start breaking this cycle. With every word you speak, you gain power. Words shape reality and directly affect your life experience. So why not choose words that bring light and positivity? When you complain, your mind uses its incredible power to seek out things you don't want. And ultimately, you attract more of them. If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. Stop complaining. Join the 30-day No Complaints Challenge and see how your life can transform. By controlling your words, you take control of your life and create a fuller, more rewarding life. The second challenge: purge yourself of negative thoughts. Imagine for a moment that every morning before you leave home, you pick up 2 bags of stones and put them in your backpack. At first, maybe they don't feel very heavy, but as the days, weeks, and months go by, carrying this burden becomes unbearable. You would become exhausted, your energy would drain, and every step would require great effort. Now think of your negative and useless thoughts. They work the same way. Not only do they wear out your mind, but they also affect your energy and attitude towards life, creating a cycle of self-criticism, frustration, and decreased confidence. The second challenge should be to stop this mental self-sabotage cycle. You wouldn't fill your backpack with that much weight, would you? So why continue to do this to your mind? Often we tend to value material things more than our mental health, but it's possible to change that. We can learn to recognize the value of our minds and their impact on our quality of life. We must learn to fight negative thoughts before they turn into mental monsters. For example, in relationships, when difficulties arise or unexpected situations occur, instead of addressing the issue, we ruminate on those thoughts. They've lost interest in me. They don't care anymore. These thoughts can become major barriers in the relationship, weakening communication and connection. When we look back honestly at our lives, we often find that most of our thoughts were based on our own judgments. Imagine you're at work and your boss criticizes something you did. Instead of addressing it through conversation, you start thinking, "I can't do anything right," or "they'll never appreciate me." These thoughts build up and become a major obstacle to your performance and well-being. Almost every unpleasant experience in our lives has the potential to turn into a mental monster if we keep feeding it with negative thoughts. Romantic disappointments, career failures, friendships that end, mistakes we've made, missed opportunities, or even someone's harsh words. All of these can weigh on our minds and block our progress, happiness, and fulfillment. Reliving your fears and failures opens the path to self-destruction. Over the next 30 days, we need to stop this cycle of negative thoughts. First, we must stop feeding our subconscious with mental garbage and avoid reliving unpleasant experiences constantly. Then we should redirect our memory to focus on events and thoughts that empower and inspire us on our life journey. By eliminating negative thoughts, we make room for a lighter and more constructive mindset, allowing us to face life's challenges with greater peace and confidence. An effective way to start is to recognize negative thoughts the moment they appear and challenge them. When a negative thought arises, stop and ask yourself, is this true? Is there another way to look at this situation? This simple act of questioning can help interrupt the cycle of negativity. Moreover, it's crucial to silence that inner critic that nags at us with regret over past mistakes. Instead of belittling ourselves, we need to learn to be our own advocates. This begins with remembering moments when we were resilient and strong. No one is perfect, and we are all human. But we all have moments of greatness, triumph, and success. As we get to know ourselves better, we start to accept our flaws as part of our personal development journey, and we begin to see ourselves differently, more fully, almost as if we're shaping a stronger, more confident version of ourselves. This journey isn't simple. Real inner strength and our own happiness require a winding path. Stoicism teaches us that it's possible to change how we view life and to reshape our values, including the importance we place on ourselves. If you're truly willing to embrace these challenges and apply them in your daily life, leave your mark by committing to this journey. Write, "I will practice this," in the comments. This small step, choosing positivity each time, can be the start of changes that lead to a stronger and healthier mindset. The third challenge: practice emotional and material detachment. This challenge is about learning to live without something you think you need. It could be something small, like your favorite candy, or something bigger, like the time you spend on social media. The idea is simple. Discover the power of self-control, one of the greatest freedoms we can possess. Imagine giving up something that brings you comfort or pleasure for a moment. It might seem like you're depriving yourself of happiness, but in reality, you're making yourself stronger and more capable of facing discomfort. Think about how expanding your comfort zone can make you more resilient in the face of life's challenges. When you do this, you learn the power of self-discipline and how to say no to things that don't contribute to your personal growth. This isn't just about giving up something for a few days, but about changing your perspective and becoming a better version of yourself. Let's think about this challenge more broadly. It's not just about material deprivation, but also about dealing with emotions, feelings, and harmful habits. Think about insecurity or procrastination, for example. How these can act like weights on our shoulders, holding us back. Over the next 30 days, Whenever you encounter insecurity or a harmful habit, imagine letting go of that weight that's holding you back. Even if it's difficult at first, give yourself permission to act with confidence and determination. This challenge isn't just about resisting a habit, it's about freeing yourself from something that clearly holds back your progress and happiness. Sometimes we attach ourselves to negative emotions or destructive habits, like being caught in an invisible web. Even though we know these things are bad for us, we find it hard to let go because we gain some secondary benefits from them. But when we challenge ourselves to live without these bonds, we discover our inner strength and capacity to overcome obstacles. So, in the coming days, choose something specific that you want to leave behind. Whether it's a negative emotion like fear or self-criticism, a harmful habit like procrastination, or excessive social media use, or anything else that you believe is holding you back from becoming the person you want to be. Think about the insecurity that stops you from taking action and making decisions. Always remember that your life and true happiness aren't dependent on the things you leave behind. Real happiness comes from the conscious choices you make and the steps you take toward building a more fulfilling life. Observe how you grow by letting go of things that don't serve you. This is the first step toward an important journey of personal growth. By embracing this challenge of emotional and material detachment, you'll be taking a significant step toward personal freedom and inner growth. You'll start to realize that many of the things you once considered indispensable are actually obstacles to your true potential. Training self-control also means training control over our emotions and feelings. So what will you choose to leave behind? What will be your first step toward a freer and more conscious life? Share your choice and commit to following through with this challenge. Together, we can support each other on this transformation journey. The fourth challenge: control your inner world. Controlling our emotions is a valuable lesson in Stoicism. Every day we face challenges that test our emotional balance. A colleague at work not taking us seriously, a complicated project, a family argument that almost turns into a fight, or an event that destabilizes us. It's common to react impulsively and lose control of the situation. But what if you could change that? During this process, we will observe our reactions to the situations we encounter by paying close attention. First, it is important to develop self-awareness, recognize our impulses and judgments, and then cultivate the ability to distance ourselves from emotions so that they don't rule us. Imagine a common scenario. You're dealing with a complex project at work, the deadline is fast approaching, and the pressure is increasing by the minute. Instead of letting stress take over, pause for a moment and look at the situation from a broader perspective. Acknowledge that the challenge is real and demanding your best, but how you respond is entirely within your control. Panicking, blaming others, or becoming frustrated won't solve anything. In fact, it might make the solution harder to find. Staying calm, focused, and determined helps you face difficulties more effectively. The same principle applies to other areas of your life. If someone from your family or social circle is trying to provoke you, it's essential to recognize this dynamic. This person might be testing your patience or trying to destabilize you emotionally, but they can only succeed if you let them. Remember, you have the power to choose how you react. Practice the art of pausing before reacting impulsively. Carefully observe the situation, and then consciously choose your response. As you develop this skill of maintaining emotional balance, you'll be more prepared to face life's challenges calmly and peacefully, cultivating a sense of inner peace that is not dependent on external circumstances. A practical example. During a heated argument, instead of reacting thoughtlessly, take a break, breathe deeply, and assess your options. Choose a response that maintains harmony and reflects the person you want to be. By practicing this repeatedly, you'll strengthen your self-control. Over the next 30 days, commit to observing and controlling your emotional reactions. When you control your inner world, nothing external can affect you. The fifth challenge. Question your expectations. Inspired by the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, this challenge helps us understand that most of the disappointments and troubles in our lives stem from unrealistic expectations. Marcus Aurelius said, "Is the cucumber bitter? Then throw it away. Are there thorns on the path? Then walk around them." This is all you need to know. Don't ask why such things exist. Someone who understands the world would laugh at you. Just as you wouldn't be surprised to find sawdust in a carpenter's workshop or leather scraps in a cobbler's shop, we shouldn't be surprised by life's inevitable difficulties and obstacles. Often we get angry, upset, or disappointed because reality doesn't meet our expectations. We're caught off guard because things don't go the way we want them to. Over the next 30 days, when you feel disappointed, instead of blaming others or external events, try questioning yourself and your unrealistic expectations. Turn your focus inward and remember that taking responsibility is key. According to Seneca, the only reason we get disturbed by small things is because we didn't expect them. This stems from excessive self-love. We decide that not even our enemies should harm us. Everyone has a king-like mindset and is willing to claim privilege, but unwilling to accept harm. We often think about what the world owes us and forget to be grateful for what we already have. Our overly optimistic expectations and desires are the main cause of anger and disappointment. Therefore, we must align them more closely with reality so that we don't feel let down by the world. As we've seen before, if we desire only what is within our control, then we will never be disappointed, no matter the circumstances. Practice seeing the world as it truly is, not as you want it to be. Regularly remind yourself of what kind of place the world is, what you may encounter, and what is under your control. As Seneca said, "The wise person will be certain that nothing comes unexpectedly." Nothing is more crushing than being caught off guard, and that's why mental preparation is crucial. If we visualize the worst possible outcomes, we won't be dealing with unmet expectations, and we can greatly reduce the negative emotions we experience. Mentally rehearse the worst-case scenario and see how a situation can unfold, contrary to your hopes and expectations. Remain at peace no matter what happens. Nothing should surprise us, especially things that happen regularly. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Remember, you shouldn't be surprised that a fig tree bears figs, nor should you be surprised by the world's fruits. A good doctor is not surprised when his patients develop a fever, and a sailor is not surprised when the wind blows against him." By accepting this challenge, you can begin to align your expectations with reality and better handle the difficulties life throws your way. Now think about how to apply this idea in your daily life and share your experiences in the comments. By supporting each other on this journey, we can cultivate a more peaceful state of mind. The sixth challenge. Practice gratitude. Think deeply about the incredible capacity we have to think, feel, enjoy, and love. This is the first step on a gratitude journey inspired by Marcus Aurelius's wise words. When you wake up in the morning, don't just think about the routine that's about to begin, but also about the miracle of being alive. Take a deep breath, feel the air in your lungs, and recognize what a privilege it is to be alive. It's natural for our minds to focus on the negative aspects of life when we feel discontented or face hard times. We often forget to value the things we once dreamed of and now have. This is why the practice of deep gratitude is so important. It's not just about politely saying thank you, but about feeling deep gratitude for everything you have. While the word gratitude is used frequently, we're accustomed to seeing it in a shallow, superficial way. In this challenge, we are invited to express true and deep gratitude and to look for reasons to be thankful in all areas of our lives. From meaningful relationships that support us during hard times to small daily joys that light up our path, nothing is too small to be a source of gratitude. It's also an opportunity to recognize our efforts and achievements. For example, the simple pleasure of a warm cup of coffee, something often taken for granted, can be a source of comfort and joy, and thus gratitude. Likewise, a meaningful conversation with a friend or a neighbor's support are reasons to be thankful. Take time to reflect on your life and search for this feeling within. For the next 30 days, I suggest incorporating gratitude practice into your daily life. Start now. In this video, share what you're thankful for. What is your heart grateful for? Even a simple comment can help you shift your attention back to the good things you already have in life. This practice strengthens our connection to the present moment and helps us adopt a Stoic mindset of inner contentment, independent of external circumstances. The seventh challenge. Take action with the right attitude. It's essential to do what needs to be done, but how do we turn this idea into concrete action? The answer lies in taking action. Imagine reflecting on the events that shape your life. It's like facing a big puzzle and trying to piece it together with wisdom and determination. Start analyzing the events in your life more rationally. For example, you may not have control over where you live, but that doesn't mean you're powerless. No matter the external conditions, you can transform your environment by ensuring your home is a place of comfort and order. Even though you may not have the best clothes or shoes, you can always carry yourself with confidence, respect, and kindness. This is exclusively up to each individual and depends on the circumstances they face. The trials of life, such as the illness of a loved one, can be difficult. But even if you can't change the situation, you can offer support and love. Perhaps you're an entrepreneur starting your own business with limited resources, but you have the power to offer extraordinary service and food. Dedication and creativity are always within your reach. In the professional environment, we can't control all the variables, but we have the opportunity to act consciously and with the right attitude. When we do, challenges won't paralyze us. In the journey of life, we often face the difficulty of making solid and secure decisions. It requires courage and determination. For the first time, our field is being challenged and demands immediate action. Accepting these challenges strengthens our ability to deal with emerging problems. Avoiding letting fear or indecision rule us helps us build an inner resilience that allows us to preserve our values and act with integrity, even when faced with financial or personal storms. This is a fortress we construct within ourselves to guard us from life's tempests. When life's winds grow stormy, this is the fortress that keeps us aligned with our values and principles. On this journey, we will encounter both builders and destroyers. Some will elevate their values as the pillars of their existence, while others will undermine their own foundations for various reasons. The choice between building or destroying is always in our hands. We can choose to strengthen our inner fortress and reinforce our values, or we can allow it to crumble. This decision defines our life. Share in the comments how these challenges affect you, or comment along the way to show your dedication to this personal struggle.